Look, she may spend the next year campaigning for Republicans all across the country. She's probably going to be the person that can attract the largest crowd. Some of it is car wreck watchers. You know, they just are coming kind of curiosity seekers. It doesn't matter. She can attract a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of car wreck watchers. Sarah Palin is what Chuck Todd is talking about. Welcome to Gimme 5 Part 2 of the Media Research Center's top 10 list of most liberal outbursts from the new host of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd. That's right. It was announced officially yesterday, or confirmed officially yesterday. So that was number 5 on the list. And Sarah Palin is a car wreck. She attracts car wreck watchers. That was from 2009. Here's another from 2009. This is number 4.
Brian, one Democratic strategist said that part of the president's problem is simply his own expectations. Some of the rhetoric he said on the campaign trail made it seem as if he was coming into office in a clean white suit. So now any speck of mud, like raising money from Wall Street donors, shows up a lot clearer than if he came in just as another politician wearing just another gray suit. Brian?
You got that? That was 2009. White House correspondent Chuck Todd, the man who will be Meet the Press host. The president came into office wearing a clean white suit. Not just any other color suit, no. So anything he does, he's a victim of his own virtue, is what they said. A victim of his own virtue. He's so virtuous, that clean white suit is bound to get stained. Not his fault. Unbelievable. Now we go up to 2012, December of 2012. Susan Rice, says Chuck Todd, is a victim of the media. This is number 3 on the list.
You look at our NBC Wall Street Journal polling, she was measuring a net negative. She had 69% of the country knew who she was, which is frankly unheard of for a cabinet level position like a UN ambassador. It was all driven in many cases by some conservative outlets who were making her the center of the Benghazi story, when there were legitimate questions to ask about the Benghazi story, but the idea that she belonged in the center of those attacks never made a lot of sense. She sort of became a victim of this. Make no mistake, she became political collateral damage.
Okay.
And I think that that's something that we got a little introspection.
Yeah, victim of the conservative media, says Chuck Todd, the future host, or I guess current host, of Meet the Press. Yeah. All right, let's go now to number 2 on the top 10 list from the Media Research Center of the most liberal things Chuck Todd has said over the years. This is a screen quote here. We're going to bring it to you. This is from Morning Joe, May 13th of this very year, 2014. And it says, as we talk about Benghazi, it certainly looks more partisan than it looks like a serious inquiry. You know, I'll hear from Republicans that say, but there are unanswered questions. Well, no, all the questions have been answered, says Chuck Todd. There's just some people that don't like the answers, that wish the answers were somehow more conspiratorial, I guess. To sit here and investigate talking points seems to be totally missing the larger point here. It's like investigating who cut down a tree, one tree in a forest that's been burned down. So according to Chuck Todd, who's taking over Meet the Press back on May 13th, there are no unanswered questions about Benghazi. And the investigation's foolish. Isn't it great he's going to be behind the mic for Meet the Press as the special select committee convenes and calls its witnesses? When he goes into it with this mindset, oh, NBC, you're holding true to form. And now, you've all been waiting for it. Number one, mocking the IRS's targeting of Tea Party. Are there any actual real victims, Chuck Todd wants to know, on June 25th of this year? Watch.
But here's the story many are missing. Why should primarily political organizations get a taxpayer exemption, basically get a handout from the tax code? Both sides are in an uproar because they couldn't take advantage of a borderline shady way to raise money for political purposes or launder money for political purposes. So while the IRS is certainly not a good guy here, they've been terrible about being forthcoming. Are there any actual real victims? Folks, this scandal...
Are there any actual real victims? No. Anybody who wants to start one of these tax-exempt organizations, they're evil. There's something wrong with them. Chuck Todd, welcome to Meet the Press on the Steve Malzberg Show.